What a great crowd. It's so good to see all of you here and to fill out this room on a snowy day. Bill and Connie, that just completely touched my heart in more ways than you know how. You know, we have campaigned in Iowa for 11 months, and there's some sadness to me about the fact of leaving, because we've done so many things, whether it was being, driving a combine on a farm, or whether it was, like holding a pig, or going to the state fair, or talking to people who own small businesses. I mean, I feel like I really do know you, and I fell in love with the fact that you're patriotic, hardworking, good Americans that want a better country. And so you two have been amazing. You didn't have to do this any of the time. And the fact that you just kept volunteering, I'm grateful. But I told my team, I'm like, we got to take them on the road the next 4 days in Caucus, because I think y'all were amazing. Thank you so much. Give them a round of applause. So get excited, 4 days until Caucus. Now, I know why I'm excited, because it's 11 months worth of work of going all over the state multiple times to really get to answer all your questions and take pictures and be the last one to leave. So I know why I'm excited. I also know why you're excited, because just think, all the TV commercials will go away. All the mail, all the text messages. I know you are ready to see this entire, all the media. I know you're ready to see everybody go. But you get it. You get the fact that it all starts with you. You set the tone for the country. It's a pretty cool thing when you think about the fact that you get to set the tone for where you want our country to go. And if you look at where our country is, it's unsettling, right? And you don't need to look at the news to tell that. You feel it. You feel it when you go to the grocery store. You feel it when you go to the gas station. You feel it when you pay your mortgage bill or your insurance payment. Everything that we have to pay, it's all gone up. And we're wondering when there's going to be relief in sight. And then you look at the fact that when you see DC, they're continuing to spend our money in a way that it now feels like we work for government. It's not supposed to be like that. Government's supposed to serve the people. And so what are we going to do about that? Well, the first thing I think you do is you send an accountant to the White House. It's about time that we do that. But I'm about solutions. I'm about results. So what does that mean? That means the first thing we're going to do is claw back the $100 billion of unspent COVID dollars that are out there. Instead of 87,000 IRS agents going after middle America, we're going to go after the hundreds of billions of dollars of COVID fraud. 1 out of every $7 was spent fraudulently. If 8% of our budget is interest, quit borrowing. Cut up the credit cards. You have to balance a budget every day. I had to balance a budget as governor. Why is Congress the only group that refuses to balance a budget? We'll stop the spending, we'll stop the borrowing, we'll eliminate the pet projects and earmarks, and I will veto any spending bill that doesn't take us back to pre-COVID levels. That will save us trillions. We're going to take as many federal programs as we can, and we're going to send them down to the states. Guess what that does? It reduces the size of the federal government, and it empowers people on the ground. Think education, think welfare, think healthcare, all of those things if we send it down to the states and empower you to have it. So then I think we should also look at the fact that we have to allow the middle class to breathe. Let's eliminate the federal gas and diesel tax in this country. That'll go a long way to making sure that we start that breathing process, and let's cut taxes on the middle class and simplify the brackets. We're watching the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We need to open it up. And then let's make sure that we focus on what we need to do to pay down our debt, how we go and get cash flow moving again so that there's more money in your pockets. And the best way to do that is to make the small business tax cuts permanent. They made them temporary. Small businesses are the heartbeat of our economy. We need to start proving it by making those small business tax cuts permanent. When you do those things, that will start to get our economy back on track, including getting all of our agencies cleaned up. When you look at education, only 31% of 8th graders in our country are proficient in reading. Only 27% of 8th graders are proficient in math. We've got to do something, or we're going to be in a world of hurt 10 years from now. That's why it's important that we do what we did in South Carolina. We didn't push kids forward if they couldn't read. We held them back. We brought in their parents. We did reading remediation, and we set them up for success. Let's make sure we have complete transparency in the classroom. No parent should ever wonder what's being said or taught to their child in the classroom. And we'll do that by having the curriculums online for parents to see. Every parent should be able to choose where their child goes to school or what mode of education they get. Parents should have that right to decide that. And then let's start building things again by putting vocational classes back into our high schools. That way we get our kids invested in our economy before they even graduate school. And then I will tell you this, for all you girl dads out there and all you strong moms, we need to raise strong girls, because strong girls become strong women, and strong women become strong leaders, and none of that happens if you have biological boys playing in girl sports. We've got to cut that out. And let's get this border under control. No more excuses. Aren't you tired of hearing how they just keep talking about it and they don't do anything? This is not that hard. We are a country of laws. The second you stop being a country of laws, you get about everything this country was founded on. We won't just build a wall. We will actually stop the flow. When I was governor in South Carolina, we passed one of the toughest illegal immigration laws in the country. Obama sued me over it. We will take what we did in South Carolina and we'll go national with it. We'll do a national E-Verify program that requires businesses prove that the people that are in this country are here legally. We will finally defund sanctuary cities once and for all. No more safe havens for illegal immigrants. We'll put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. We'll go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so that no one even steps foot on U.S. soil. And instead of catch and release, we'll go to catch and deport. That is the way we will get the border closed. That is the way we'll stop the drug flow, and that's the way we'll protect Americans again. And when it comes to national security, you want someone who has dealt with Russia, China, Iran, Israel every day. I did that every day I was at the United Nations. We know how to put them on their heels. That's why I was able to take the kick me sign off of our backs, and America was respected again at the UN. And the way we do that is to tell you more of what's going on. That's the biggest issue I have, is in DC, the president and Congress don't tell you everything. But you deserve to know everything. That's how we make good decisions. And so when you hear these people, if any of you say, well, why should we care about Ukraine? That's a legitimate question for you to ask. My problem is no one's giving you the answers to that. I'm going to give you the answers.
How would you replace Obamacare?
I still see the fact that in Ukraine and in our national security, the number one thing should always be, how do we keep Americans safe? How do we keep Americans safe? And the way we do that is remember that at the UN I saw that thugs, terrorists, and dictators always tell us what they're going to do. They're amazingly transparent. Hamas said they were going to go into Israel. They did. China said they were going to take Hong Kong. We watched it. Russia said they were going to invade Ukraine. It happened. China says Taiwan is next. We better believe them. Russia said once they take Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next. If they do that, those are NATO countries. That puts America at war. This is about preventing war. It's always been about preventing war. And I don't think we should ever, and you will see this, I don't think we should ever give any country cash, friend or foe, because you can't follow it and you can't hold it accountable. And we need to always hold taxpayer dollars accountable. But I think we need to give them the equipment and ammunition to win. Because A win for Russia is a win for China. And if Ukraine wins, China won't invade Taiwan. We know that. If we support Ukraine, that's only 3.5% of our defense budget. Europeans are paying more than that, and they should. It's their neighborhood. You've got Israel. We have to know how to deal with Israel, and we have to know that we have to support them. They're the tip of the spear when it comes to defeating terrorism. And that terrorism is all the terrorism that says death to America. So we need them. If we support Ukraine and Israel, that's only 5% of our defense budget. And then you go and you look, yes, we should secure the border. That should be priority number one. America's acting like it's September 10th. We better remember what September 12th felt like, because it only takes one person. So if we support Ukraine and we support Israel and we secure the border, that's less than 20% of Biden's green subsidies. It's not about how much you spend. It's about, are you spending it smartly? That's what we want. And our goal is always about preventing war. My husband's a combat veteran. He served in Afghanistan. The last thing I want any military man and woman to do is have to go fight a war. But you have to understand your enemies before you know how you can defeat them. So we know how to do things to get our country back on track. But we have to acknowledge some hard truths if we're going to make it happen. Republicans have lost the last 7 out of 8 popular votes for president. That's nothing to be proud of. We should want to win the majority of Americans. But the only way we're going to do that is if we have a new generational leader that puts the negativity and baggage of the past and focuses on the solutions of the future. I've always spoken in hard truths, whether it's calling out Republicans for wasteful spending, whether it's calling out any elected officials and the fact that I think we need term limits in our country. I think we need mental competency tests in our country. But I also think that it's important to tell you where I'm coming from. I think President Trump was the right president at the right time to break the things that we needed. I agree with a lot of his policies. But rightly or wrongly, chaos follows him. Y'all know it. Chaos follows him. And we can't be a country in disarray and have a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos because we won't survive it. You don't defeat Democrat chaos with Republican chaos. And the other thing we need to think about, we can never afford a President Kamala Harris. And we can't afford another nail-biter of an election. And you look at the situation where it is now. If you go and look at any of the polls, any of them, head-to-head with Biden, what do you see? Ron doesn't defeat Biden. Trump, head-to-head with Biden. On a good day, he might be up by 2, but within the margin of error, it would be a nail-biter of an election. I'm in every one of those polls. I defeat Biden by as much as 17 points. Do you know what that means? That's bigger than the presidency. That's governorships, that's House, that's Senate, that's all the way down to the school board. But you go into D.C. with a double-digit win, that's a mandate to stop the wasteful spending and get our economy back on track, a mandate to get our kids reading again and go back to the basics on education, a mandate to secure our border, no more excuses, a mandate to bring law and order back to our country, and a mandate for a strong America we can be proud of. Don't you want that again? We could have that again. But in order to have that, it's going to take a lot of courage. Courage from every single person in this room. Courage for me to run. And courage for every one of you to know, don't complain about what happens in a general election if you don't play in this caucus. It matters. 6 months ago, I dropped my husband Michael off for another year-long deployment. And I watched him and 230 soldiers pick up their 2 duffel bags of belongings to go to a country they'd never been, all in the name of protecting America. They're willing to sacrifice their lives and their families because they still believe in this amazing experiment that is America. So if they're willing to sacrifice for us there, shouldn't we be willing to fight for America here? Because we have a country to save. And all the media pundits love to talk about how they know what's going to happen in Iowa. You have to get tired of that, right? And I told some the other day, I said, you don't know what's going to happen in Iowa. Ask the people of Iowa if they think what you think. Because you're still making up your mind. You're still figuring out where you want to go. But what I do know is I trust you. I trust that you did your homework. I trust that you know where you want the country to go. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want my kids to live like this. We have to bring some sanity back to America. It can't be so hard. I look at my kids now. They're 22 and 25. And if any of you have kids that age, they're scared. They don't know where they're going to find a job. They see all this debt that they're going to have to pay back. The average home buyer now is 49 years old. The American dream's getting away from them. So this isn't just about 4 or 8 years. This is about what are we going to do for them 20 and 30 years out so that they have a better life than us. That's what we've always wanted in America. It's how do we make today better than yesterday? So on the 15th, on Monday, it's going to be so cold. Like, I don't even know what -15 is. I was complaining it was cold in Iowa in October. So my kids are here with me this week, pushing all the way like they did when I was running for governor. They came to be here. They've never seen snow like this. But I'll tell you what, we can do this. You deserve better. You deserve an America without chaos. You deserve an America without drama. You deserve an America that's better than whether you have a couple of 80-year-olds running for president. You deserve better than what we've got. But you can make it better. And we will make it better. And the way you do that is there are cards on your seats. And they tell you how to make it better. These are Commit to Caucus cards. Now, I've got to tell you, when my kids were little and I was governor, there would be certain times we'd have like the legislature over for dinner or whatever. We'd have, special guests. And, they were little. They didn't want to come down and say hello. So I would always say, okay, I will give you 25 cents for every hand you shake. Everybody thought they were the best behaved kids. Little did they know I had like a bill from each of them at the end. But what I love at 22 and 25, they're not asking for money now, but they are competing to see how many Commit to Caucus cards. I caught them yesterday saying that they were going to outdo each other. So they are going to be with Commit to Caucus cards too. But look, we can do this. This is exciting. This is a moment in time where we can say, now we right the ship. So if you like what I had to say, go tell 10 people. Tell them, yes, I know it's cold on Monday, but I'm going to be out there. And I hope that you can bring people with you, not just you, bring people with you. Fill out this card. We'll tell you what we're doing, where we're going, all of those things. If you've never caucused before, we'll tell you how to do it. If you have caucused before, you can help us tell other people how to do it. But we are going to make it a great night on Monday. So I want to thank you for coming out today. And this is what I'll tell you. There's a lot of lies and everything going on. You can go to DeSantisLies.com. I finally just put it on a website because I'm like, it's too many things. So, but go there. It answers a lot of questions of any commercials that you've seen. And let's focus on what we're going to do to stop this drama and to focus on what we need to do for the solutions. So thank you for coming out. Let's get excited for Monday. God bless you.